All right, welcome everybody. Oh crap, let me go grab my stuff here. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2. So I hope everything sounds well. Go ahead and turn the music down. Let's see here. It's under here. Yeah, so let's just kind of turn that down. Actually, let's just turn that off. There we go. All right. Well, I am back again, like I said I would. Remember, I threatened you all, said I would be back one more time. This time with a special guest. Dig the funky setup. I've got the ball of truth here, very hot. And I got my little PlayStation light here, so hopefully everybody's enjoying the LED show. And I'm gonna get some more LED stuff here. Here's my little thing I got from my young lady got me from Amazon Prime Day. So she saw me take the other ones back, so she bought these on Prime Day for like $25 less. So that is cool. But we're gonna have a special guest here. We're gonna be talking about two movies I want to ask my special guest about. One is what he thought about the trailers for Ant-Man Quantumania, and also what he thought. Let me go ahead and check my audio settings, make sure we're good. All right, looks like it's fine. Got echo cancellation going, so let me make sure you all can't. All right, yeah. All right, so we're good there. All right, well, hope it sounds good. Like I said, I'm getting used to the new equipment, but I do have a special guest I want to try to bring in. Just want to kind of prep the show here. So my man Chris here has jumped on here before, and we've had a real good conversation. He's got his connections in the industry. He has his own podcast. Let's go ahead and
I ain't with that.
So he's coming back to the chair, and we're gonna bring him on right properly. So but yeah, I know he's a busy man. He had his own podcast this afternoon, this evening. You all go check that out. And we will go ahead and Chris, give me a thumbs up in the back chat when you're ready. And we'll go ahead and bring you on up, and we'll talk. We're gonna talk a little Ant-Man, because that trailer, I did watch that today. That did surprise the hell out of me. And all right, give me the thumbs up. All right, so here we go. We're gonna welcome him to the stream. What is going on, brother? How are you doing?
What's going on? See, hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, how you been doing? I've been watching your channel, man. You're doing big things over there, man. So how have you been, my man? Been a few months. How have you been?
Just chilling and living it, man. You know what it is. Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Well, man, thanks for jumping on. I know it's late, but I wanted to bring you on and ask you a few questions. But things first.
I pop up, freak solve. I do that every time somebody says some first things first. I always say that. I pop up, freaks all the honeys.
Nah, that's good, man. That's good. First things first, I want to kind of go ahead and plug your channel, man. I've got you here. You're with T3 Media, so go ahead and plug your channel, man. And everybody, once you listen to this, make sure you all like and subscribe to this, man. Go ahead, brother.
Oh yeah, T3 Media's it's Talking Through the Media's originally, but now it's just T3 Media Studios. I'm doing my network thing now. I have my own entertainment news show where I talk about like what's trending, movie stuff, things like that. And there's other shows on my channel as well that's currently popping off and about to come out. But we mostly just talk movies, TV shows, and things like that, the geek stuff, and we just have fun and just try to stay up to date on things like the same things that you be talking about. And for the most part, and just trying to vibe and have fun, man, and just enjoy it as we do it, just like you. I see what you do. I knew the last time I collaborated with you, you had the mood lighting all set up, had the R&B music playing in the background. I said he ain't gonna beat me this time. This time I'm gonna have the lights on. This time.
Oh, listen to you, hey man, that's a rocking setup though, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I got a little basic. A little preschool stuff here, man. I'm gonna get some more LED stuff going on.
Hey, last time we collaborated, he had Drew Hill playing in the background. I was like, "Whoa, what's going on, man?"
I'm guilty as charged.
Yeah. I was like, this boy started the stream off with the Drew Hill talking about, yeah.
Yes, sir. So yeah, but all right. So now your podcast. Let me ask you: do you have any reoccurring guests? Do you tag team with some other people, or what? How is your podcast evolved? Because it has evolved. So can you just kind of give a little background on how it is
the
evolved?
the regular players here over here is well, my friend Amy Newman, she's in California. See, I'm in Houston, and
Right.
she's in California during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Uh, she collaborated with me on the regular and helped like build the channel up to the numbers that it's at right now. But for the most part, I try to collaborate with people that are like local. I try to have people in studio, but that's even that's gotten a little harder. So
Mhm.
going back to remote mostly, like I do, and trying to collaborate with with people
Yeah.
and whatnot. So because it's hard to convince people, even though I say I'm in Houston, but I'm really like way north of Houston, so it's hard to convince people to drive way up here sometimes. So
Oh, I understand that.
but yeah, but the regular players are most of the same. It's mostly me. It's either me, Amy, or my wife helps me with the stuff, and we have some other people that help out on the regular. Giovanni,
Yeah.
a friend, friend Tiffany, that we do a podcast called The Ranover Show, and Sarah Catherine the Red, who also is a regular co-host for my show, but she's starting her own show on this channel as well as so yeah, it's we got a little crew, but we just
Yeah.
mostly be having fun and whatnot. So yeah, and we like
Yeah.
and
When
we
you
like
all
what we do.
when you all go live, I definitely I always definitely tune in and leave my little joke line. Is this a Mass Effect podcast? Stuff like that. So
Yeah, I see you in the. I be seeing you. Yeah, he comes on just to give me just hit me with a quick insult, talking about my head is too shiny or something, and then he just dips out every time. You're like that quick Craig drive by every week.
no, come on now.
That's why I'm wearing my hat.
Hey, I'm signed up too. I'm a little long. I'm still waiting on my stuff from Prime Day to get here, man. Amazon tripping. So yeah, so but man, good man. Congrats on the channel and everything. Now, were you able to cover? Was it Comic Palooza?
Yeah. Comic Palooza
Okay,
is here in
so
Houston. Yeah.
all right. So how did that come about? On how that worked itself out for you guys?
We well, one of the players over here who is real involved in cosplay and whatnot. You know, he because I never did it before,
Mhm.
and I said, you know, I wanted to start covering more events. We get press passes and credentials to like movie premieres and stuff like that, but sometimes we get invited and asked to cover other things. But it was never my thing. I never did it before. But then once I got introduced to it, like the Dallas Expo, one of our guys covered that, and then Comic Palooza. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna get up there. I'm gonna dress up. Maybe one day I won't dress up. Maybe I will. I decided just to dive right into it, and I
Right.
was Mr. Glass on one day, and then I dressed up as Ruby Rod the next.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and when I did that, that was it, and dude. That was everybody wanted to talk to me. Everybody, I was like, I had so much fun, and I was
Mhm.
so it was my first time ever doing an event like that. But now that we're getting more invites to stuff like that, like film festivals,
Yeah.
cosplay events, stuff like that, we're gonna start covering more stuff like that. And now that I've gotten a taste for it, it's a lot of fun. I didn't know how I didn't know how it was gonna feel like a big Halloween party or something, but it
Right.
was more fun than I thought it would be, and we got a lot of coverage. We interviewed some people and
Yeah. I
just
saw that.
vibing,
Yeah.
just having a good time. It was pretty good.
Yeah, saw that. Shout out to the people here in the chat. The people will be here later. I'm just talking to a special guest, man. I really have been enjoying you all stuff and seeing your channel grow, things like that.
Mhm.
Like I said, I love seeing. I celebrate all, African American content creators. So I am so glad to be able to lend a voice, or however you want to put it. Always go ahead and shout yourself out anytime you want. It's make sure you do that, man. Anything I can do to help. I may not be able to do anything, but if you can think of anything, let me know. I'm here. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think the first time we ever spoke about anything, it was because of a video I did about Spider-Man, and you reached out, and the rest was history. We linked up ever since then. And
I do remember that.
I have to, you know what? And I remember when I did that video, it was in front of a green screen, and it's funny. It was that type of video that I did got your attention and a lot of people's attention, but I never went back to it. And I've been meaning to. I got my green screen thing set up, and I'm gonna tell all my followers and stuff that I haven't been doing my green screen. I promised them a long time ago I would. And I need to get back to doing it like that because it got your attention and a lot of people's attention. But I feel like I let a lot of people down because I haven't done a video quite like that, in a while. And I got to get back to the basics of this channel and doing things the right way, doing things the Craig Tech guy way.
Listen to you. You got to go going back to the roots. I understand that. Going to the roots. I understand. Going to the soil, as they would say.
Yeah,
exactly. Like to say that. So I wanted to just ask you. I mean, you talked about something today, kind of stole the thunder a little bit, but I wanted to ask you, because you caught this, and so did you guys caught this on your podcast.
Right.
We're gonna talk about the Ant-Man and Quantumania trailer, how you pretty much put out there how at this point in time, the way this is being early set up is that Ant-Man is going to be the most important person into this phase, almost like he's their Iron Man for this, phase one. Iron Man was the most important guy. So what did you think of San Diego Comic-Con as a whole, what you got to see? I mean, this one, what we got to see and what you got to see. And then what did you think of this trailer for Ant-Man and the Quantumania trailer?
Now, you might be telling me something. I knew that there was leaked footage of the trailer, but are you saying that the official trailer that
I saw some leaked footage there.
Okay,
I saw Scott Lang walking down the street or something like that.
So I thought, because I assumed that when it leaked that Marvel might release it today or something like that. But I don't know what it was. It was just something that just kind of clicked with me when I watched San Diego Comic-Con, and shout out to, like I said, to Amy Newman from the
shout out to her.
She was there. Actually, she's from California. She was there, but what we noticed was that when all the trailers came out, not the trailers, when the announcements and with Wakanda Forever trailer and all that stuff we're about to talk about later, I did what everybody else did as a fan. I geeked out over Phase 5 but the thing that I instantly noticed, what came screaming back to me, was how I talked about the callback to Ant-Man on Hawkeye, the Rogers play, and then how it was mentioned again in Ms. Marvel, the podcast and stuff like. I just started noticing. I'm like, is Ant-Man being set up to be either a leader, or is this just like a gag where he's become now the most famous, like in the MCU universe, a celebrity amongst all the other, like he's leaning in on the celebrity. He's like, all the kids in the MCU universe seem to love him. They like I said, Miss Marvel mentioned him, and he was put in that damn play, that musical, when he wasn't even in Avengers 1. Like what's going on? Like something's going on with Ant-Man that he's being positioned for something. And I just heard those rumors that maybe that his celebrity in the MCU is going to be way different in the next movie than what it's ever been in previous iterations of it. So it's just something that kind of clicked on me. And it's just, like I said, I was just theorizing, just rumors that I'm hearing. But I think it's real.
Yeah.
I think it's real.
This is called, let me tell the audience, there's a difference in outright speculation and fan theory. And with speculation, I try to stay away from it unless somebody in the chat asks about it. Theory crafting and what if. Matter of fact, Marvel did the What If cartoon, and very successful. You brought up Miss Marvel. What did you think about that series?
Overall, I liked it. I when I gave my review on it, I said that the 3 or 4 best episodes was probably like episode 1, episode 2, and then the flashback episode, and then the last episode. Like there was like 4 episodes that really kept the story moving. Everything else kind of could have been cut out. It should have. honestly, it could have just been a movie. They could have cut out all that filler, and but the parts, those 4 episodes where the actual story was progressing and whatnot, that those parts of it, to me, I thought was fantastic. I learned about like Pakistani families, some stuff that I never knew. I mean, I worked overseas in Iraq for some years, and I learned more about Muslim families and things like that, and became familiar with. But this that series, I wanted to look at that series and like learn and hopefully learn something that I never knew before, which I got. I got a sense that that actress that's playing Ms. Marvel, she's gonna be a star. She's a fun person to watch. I can't remember what I rated it. If I was to rate it, like I don't usually rate things, I give it a solid 3.5, maybe 4 out of 5. I was surprised how high it's rated, like on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like,
it's like a 97.
Really? I was like, I enjoyed it, but really, the highest rated. I was like, something's like, I don't do the conspiracy theories, but
that's all subjective. My favorite series that I've seen out of the Marvel TV shows was, for me personally, was the Hawkeye series.
Really? And I understand why you say that. Well, some people say that, but I don't hear that enough. Well, tell me why you feel like that was your favorite.
The writing, and the way they did. If you follow the comics, how his character is going deaf and gets deaf in the comic. Them bringing that in, them bringing in Kingpin as the same Kingpin we saw in Daredevil. But overall, the writing and how it was just a natural transition to go to Kate Bishop, and which Marvel does do. They don't do a lot of recasts. I mean, somebody did mention to me that, and they're right, they did recast War Machine. That's true, but that was a contract problem with Terrence Howard. But nevertheless,
don't get me started on that. I could do a whole show on how they did my boy Terrence.
That was RDJ people renegotiating his contract after Iron Man's success. And the money that was available wasn't enough for Terrence, because people got to remember Terrence, they had just won an Oscar for Crash, and he got nominated for best, was it oh man, I can't think of the name of the song. The name of the
Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
Hustle and Flow.
Yeah.
They got nominated for Best Picture, right? So a lot of people forgot about that. And
I understood that that because of Robert Downey Jr.'s past before his downfall, and then now that his career was being revitalized, I understood them wanting to increase his pay, but they didn't have to take it from Terrence to do it, especially when Terrence was one of the dudes that campaigned to get him on there. The fact that Robert didn't have his back, I thought.
You're right. I mean, I don't disagree with you. So I think we're on the same page. But for me, Hawkeye, it just felt like a natural transition. The fact that they brought in Yelena Belova, they introduced Echo, and people like, well, she wasn't really that big a deal. And I said, well, she will be down the road.
Exactly. Me and you on the same page on that. People, I'm telling you guys, do not sleep on Echo. The way they introduced her was not as good. But I agree. They didn't have that much time in a 6 episode series.
Yeah, it was either 6 or 7 episodes.
And it wasn't the Echo show; it was the Hawkeye show. Yeah. But with her history and what it sounds like they're going to do for her series, I think we're about to see something amazing. That's how I feel about it.
I really do. Excuse me. So that for me, I mean, but it was Hawkeye, not by a lot. I did like the Winter Soldier show, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, that was good too. I thought the writing in that, the first 3 episodes, I thought the writing was real good. Then it was a lull. Then you had fantastic writing. I thought the last 4 episodes, I'm like, man, that was good. You got to see the introduction of the Thunderbolts in that show. Let me ask you: do you think they will recast? Hasn't it? Is it William Hurt that passed away?
Was that the Thunderbolt that passed?
Yeah, that's Thunderbolt. Yeah, that's Jane. I think it was William Hurt. He passed. So, do you think they're going to recast that role because the team is named after him.
I talked about this briefly on the
Yeah.
channel. I said the thing that they could either go back to the original Thunderbolt Ross from the Hulk movie from before the MCU. I say they could either pull him, or maybe Betty could take up the mantle. Maybe Betty Ross might go. Maybe my dad was right about these super powered people, and maybe she might become the Ross to lead the Thunderbolts. Those are my two theories. Either if they're going to recast Thunderbolt Ross, you already got one from the original Hulk movie. Pull him in. I think fans would appreciate that. My other theory would be just either Betty or just maybe recast with a total different actor if they want to go that route. But I don't know. I don't know which route is the best route, but I wouldn't mind if the original Thunderbolt Ross from the Hulk movie, I forgot his name.
Okay.
Sam Elliott. If Sam Elliott could come back, I thought he was a good Ross too.
Yeah. Now you talking about, was that the one from Eric Bana?
That.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to make sure we clear that up. Okay, no, that's cool. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good. Yeah, that may work. Sam Elliott, what's he doing right now?
What was it? Yellowstone.
Is it Yellowstone? He's still on that? Okay.
I think he wasn't in Ghost Rider also. I mean, so he's been in these movies.
Yeah, he's been in them. Yeah, that's a good point. They've gone to him before. Yeah, that's a very good point. A little bit more about Ant-Man. So because we heard Kang the Conqueror's voice or the He Who Remains, but this is going to be allegedly what I've been told is a variant possibly of him. Do you think we see him at his badass height on what he's capable of doing? Or
you mean like which variant are we going to see? They said it's going to be Kang, right? The Conqueror version, right?
So it will be the Conqueror. Yeah, because I like He Who Remains He Who Remains was more of a philosopher.
Yeah,
more philosophical, I should say. I wouldn't say he's a philosopher, but he had all that wisdom. So I did, and that was Loki, and I liked WandaVision. People now emailing me. Yeah, I liked all those shows. I thought WandaVision is underrated, and I think Loki's a little bit overrated. But I did enjoy Loki, So, but yeah.
Oh, you didn't like that Loki on Loki love? I thought that was.
I thought it was fun. Yeah, I thought it was fun to watch. I didn't get the seriousness of it until, you really had to dig into like their sacred timeline and how the branches could cause all these problems. We saw a little bit of it in Doctor Strange, the end cutscenes. But yeah, you're seeing this thing happen now and how this is going to work. So it's big. I was like, okay, this is going to be a lot bigger than we're looking at. So did you notice the Ant-Man and the Ant-Man trailer and the actual the poster? I'm sorry, not the trailer. The poster has Stinger on there. I think for the daughter, Scott Lang's daughter, I believe, is Stinger. I think she's going to be getting her.
Yeah, she's getting into the family business as well, and that was one of the rumors that one of the rumors related to the daughter that I heard that kind of makes sense that if Scott Lang is now finding a new like a celebrity status amongst the people because of his podcast and things like that, like he's letting. But the rumor that I heard is that he might be letting it get to his head, like because like in Endgame. Remember in Endgame when he was sitting with Hulk and the kids didn't recognize him.
Good point.
And when he was in jail and he said he was talking to Robert Downey Jr., but Robert Downey Jr.'s response to him was like, "What's your name again?" I think his character lets that get to him, like the fact that nobody cares about him. But now that he's getting popular, I feel like I heard that he's gonna let it get to his head, and it's gonna cause a rift between him and his daughter. Like what the hell happened to you, Dad?
Yeah. No, I mean that's a good point. I forgot all about the Downey. Yeah, when Stark was like, you're right. He said, "What's your name?"
What's your name again? And they don't want my autograph, Hulk. They want your autograph. The key, I think that stuff probably got to him. So now that he's popular,
that's a very good point. How do you think they'll do time travel in the quantum realm? As far as we know you can't defeat a determiner. So we found that out in What If. But an absolute's an absolute. You can't, redo it. So Black Widow dying, she's not coming back. So things like that. So How do you think they'll handle time travel? Do you think it'll be them just kind of stopping in different spots like they did in Endgame? Kind of they had a, because they'll still have to start wristbands, the GPSs. Do you think it'll be something like that, and they'll be kind of hopping all over different parts of time, or do you think everything is going to take place within the quantum realm? What do you think about that?
You mean for Quantumanium?
Yeah, Quantumania. Yeah, specifically. Yeah.
Are they going to? I mean, obviously they're going to deal with time travel. If Kang's going to be there, yeah, they're probably going to deal with time travel again. As far as like, are you asking me, like, do I think that they're going to start like plucking people from the past, trying to change the past or anything like that, or what do you mean? What are you asking?
Well, if they're trying to hide from and they'll go back to like 1952 or 2009 and stuff like that.
We might see a young Michael was it Douglas a young original Ant-Man like Ant-Man and Ant-Man fighting side by side. We might see something like that. I'm curious on how. What I'm more curious about is how a villain like Kang the Conqueror is going to handle or is going to be handled in an Ant-Man movie, because like Kang is obviously an Avengers level type of a villain. He obviously he's going to be in the Avengers, the Kang, what's it called? Avengers Kang.
Yeah, instead of Kang War, they're calling it Kang Dynasty. Yeah.
I can only imagine that it's just going to be him toying around with Ant-Man. I mean, what really can Ant-Man do to him? I mean, I'm more curious about how that's all going to be, because whatever Kang's plan is, it's not obviously Ant-Man. Ant-Man might hinder it or cause a little bit of a delay for whatever Kang's ultimate plan is, but obviously it's not going to work since we know Kang's going to be dealt with in the later Avengers movie. So I'm just curious on if it's just going to be like Kang is just going to be a background villain player, the mastermind, and then maybe another villain, maybe MODOK or somebody else is probably, I feel like, it's going to be the main focus. As far as the time travel stuff, I wouldn't be able to call it. The only thing that to me that would make sense is, like I said, going back to seeing a young Michael Douglas or something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I know a lot of people would like that. Yeah, that blew me away in the first Ant-Man, how that de-aging technology has gotten that good. And, wow.
So yeah, I would like to see that. Maybe they're working him and his prime younger Michael Douglas working with Pym and not Pym. Scott Lang? Yeah, Lang and Pym. Yeah, I think that might be what happened. That's my only speculation so far.
All right, no, I got you. No, that's cool. Yeah, that's why you're here. That's why I wanted to ask you. Now let's move to the main topic here. I want to talk about that Black Panther trailer and just get your overall thoughts on it. First things first, have you seen the trailer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I checked that. I'm with everybody else. Whose booty was that at the end of it? Whose booty was that? Well, I have my theories.
I wanted to ask about that. So in the trailer, we get a look at two new characters. I'll put them up on the screen. I did this last night here. Let me see if I can figure this technology out here. It's not here. Why is it not showing here? Well, no, it's not dropping. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. Me being silly. All right. So one of the characters, I wanted to ask your opinion about this, is one of the characters we're looking at is Michaela Coles. She's going to play I hope I'm saying this right. Aniki. I wanted to ask you, is she part of the Night Angels from the Dora Milaje, kind of like their version of SEAL Team 6? Or what do you know anything about this character that you can kind of let the audience in on some backstory?
Now that I don't know. I mean, I'm not well versed in like the comic book lore of most of these characters. Everything what I know mostly from Black Panther is from what we've gotten in the movie. I haven't been able to get back into the last time I dove into Black Panther history was when Eric Jerome Dickey wrote the whole story about Storm and wedding, things like that. That was the last time I dove into it, and I've been out of pocket for if you want details like that, then I might not be too much help today.
No,
So
that's
your
cool.
guess is as good as mine on that one.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So my personal theory, and I talked about this a little bit last night, is that she's going to be one of the night angels. You can kind of see her there. There's regular Dora. There's the outfit right there. And then she has a different outfit on. So she's still Dora Milaje, but they're just their version of SEAL Team 6. So, and again, I said last night, the Dora Milaje, if you want to call them the U.S., if you want to call them the Army Rangers, the Night Angels are a SEAL Team 6, highly specialized. Right. This is the group of people that the King of Wakanda would send to go take out a head of state, or kidnap somebody or go get information through any means necessary. So, but yeah, I've shared that with my audience. Shout out to everybody that's here. So this is just my opinion. Now we're talking about was that an official full trailer or was that a tease trailer?
I want to say it was a teaser. It might let me go back. I want to say it was a teaser, but it was like 2 minutes long, so it might have been an official trailer. Let me Wakanda trailer. I want to say it was a teaser, but it might have. It said it's official teaser. Yeah.
Okay, because to me, and you saw the Comic-Con, right? So to me, everybody that was on that stage, that got introduced on that stage, they were in the trailer. At any given point, they were in the trailer. So I've told people it's a vertical slice of what we saw. Even the people, which I don't know if maybe you know this, I think they're changing Namor to be more descendant of the Mayans. Than he is of the Atlantans. So what do you think about that? Right now, that's early scuttlebutt. No confirmation, but that's early scuttlebutt. What do you think about that?
Whether it's confirmed or not, one thing that I have been noticing online is that people like from the Mexican community and from those communities and that background are extremely appreciative that Ryan Coogler and Marvel has done that and is repping, showed them and rep, because it was when I noticed it, I instantly thought, but that's pretty damn cool. That and I was just looking at it from a visual effects kind of a thing. That looks great on screen. But then I started looking at other people's content, people with that background. I mean, people in tears talking about how they appreciated being seen and showing, like representate. People saying that Ryan Coogler didn't have to do that, but to go out of their way to do that for a group of people that you don't see that type of representation, especially on this level. And I said the same thing when they announced Black Panther 1. I made a video about how like this is going to be the biggest, the highest budgeted film with the most all black cast, black director, black, and now and then now on the sequel, he pretty much did it again. Like this is to show that representation for people with that background, and when I think it's fantastic, and it fits to me. It looked amazing, and I can't wait to see. I just can't. What I really can't wait to see is how people try to compare if Aquaman and Namor to them. So I'm looking forward to that.
Right? People emailed me about that last night, and I'm like, well, Aquaman's a copy of Namor, so but it sounds like this is just early scuttlebutt that they're making the character Namor more about the Mayans, how the Mayan civilization didn't really disappear. They developed the ability to go live underwater, so
like trying to kind of merging the what happened to the Mayans with the whole theory of Atlantis kind of that makes sense. I like that actually.
That's this early scuttlebutt. Again, they don't, and let me make this clear, if they don't do this, I'm not going to be like, I can't believe this, it's this early.
Like I heard it was confirmed on Craig the Tech guys.
Oh God, we got enough entitlement in this community, so no. But and now you were talking about my personal belief on who's wearing the Panther costume is Shuri. Just like from the comic book accurate. she was the Black Panther for a little while after T'Challa.
After T'Challa got
go ahead.
like comatose for a while, right? Or something.
Yeah, by Namor. By Namor.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think now this is just my own personal theory, is that they flip that and Shuri will get injured. And then once Shuri gets injured, somebody else is going to have to become Black Panther. I personally think the obvious choice is M'Baku, Winston Duke taking on a bigger role. So, but which has been teased out through the last 6 months of stuff that's leaked that M'Baku is going to play a bigger role. And we're going to see much more of Wakanda. Obviously, we're going to see a whole lot of Wakanda. I tell people, in my opinion, Chris, the most important part of the teaser trailer was the Wakandans obviously being held by those soldiers that were all geared up. They obviously have them at gunpoint. So if something else is going on, I tell people to always, that's what caught my eye originally. But I wanted to ask you, how much more of Wakanda do you think we will see? Do you think, what do you think?
The last time in the end of the Black Panther movie, we saw how T'Challa and Shuri, we talked about outreach programs and things like that. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Wakanda, and I'm thinking more of like I don't know, politics is the right word for it, but like how the people, the citizens are feeling and how they're responding to T'Challa being gone or missing or dead or whatever the situation is. I'm still not 100%. I've been told that this takes place like present time, like after the snap and everything, but I was hoping that it takes place during the snap when T'Challa was dusted. But I'm hearing two things, so I guess I'll figure that out later. Unless do you know when the movie is taking place?
It's a sequel. It is taking place after Endgame. Now I don't know the timeline. Yeah, I don't know if it's a year or 2 years. But at the end of Endgame,
so that means T'Challa is probably like dead, or we're gonna probably see him gone. And I got my feelings on that. But what I'm more curious, more than seeing more of Wakanda, what I'm more curious about is seeing T'Challa's plan, that outreach program, that city where at the end of Black Panther 1, when they bought that building to do an outreach program.
That was
I would not be surprised if we see that same neighborhood, and like after a year or two or however many years of Wakanda put in investments into that neighborhood, that it's like one of the most profitable neighborhood, the richest Black neighborhood in California or something like that. Like that's what I'm curious on seeing, like seeing how the world notices that this mystery country that we thought was a primitive country turns out to be the most powerful nation in the world. And whenever they invest in little neighborhoods here and there, they flourish. And I want to see that. And I want to see how the world responds to it. Like, we might have to do something about these Wakandans because they putting too much money in the hood. Like something like that. Like I kind of feel like I want to see that.
Yeah. Now, are they still developing the TV show? Is that still on? Do we have any idea?
You just came. I heard. I haven't heard anything.
Okay, me either. That's why I'm like kind of like, I wonder what's going on with that. So.
I remember them talking about it years ago, and then you know what? The second you just said that, I have not heard anything.
Because I think is it Denai Guerrera supposed to be kind of her and Florence Kumba that plays Aya. So they are supposed to kind of be the anchors of that show. So moving on, the next character I wanted to talk to you about is Ironheart. So who is going to be played by I'm horrible with these names.
I am too, man. I know. Take your time.
All right, let me see here. Hold on. Let me full screen it.
Dominique Thorne.
Yeah, Dominique Thorne. My God, I'm so sorry, Dominique. Miss Thorne, I apologize.
Yeah,
It's late at night and I'm an old man.
She's gonna be in Wakanda
Yeah.
Forever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. She's in that. And of course, if you all don't know about her character, she creates in the comic book, she creates her own version of a Stark suit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's apparently a little bit more advanced in the comics. I don't think they'll take it there in the movie. I think they will change that in the movie. But what do you think? Because that in the commercial or in the tease trailer, when it shows Shuri giving the high five or the handshake, that's her.
Dominique.
Yeah, that's Dominique that you're doing it with. So it looks like that she becomes kind of her science officer. That's what it looks like. Let me make it. And we know.
I wonder if do you think Dominique is going to be a citizen of Wakanda? Or you think they're going to keep is she going to be from America?
Well, I think the character in the comic book is from MIT. Okay. And you have to remember going back to Civil War, like how you went back to Civil War. Remember, Tony Stark greenlit all their projects.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I think her project is going to be putting this suit together. That's just my opinion. So, and she even had a kind of a look-alike scene when Stark, if you go back to the first Iron Man, when he's building his iron suit in the cave.
She hit the heart thing emblem came out of that piece of iron. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was a call. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of a callback.
To the first Iron Man movie. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that I'm thinking that part of the synopsis is Shuri and maybe some Wakandans discover what she's doing, and they try to go get her and bring her as part of the exchange program. That you were just talking about. Well, hey, you can come to our country and we can give you vibranium to work on because
there's precedence for that because remember when Iron Man had his first butt whooping and his suit got torn up, and then later on his suit was more had that nanotechnology. If I remember correctly, he got that from Wakanda. From working with Wakanda, so there's precedence of the Wakandans and the Stark Industries working together. So I imagine that's exactly what's probably going to happen. Either that, or they're trying to protect her because after she made the Iron Man suit, Pepper Potts suit is going to sue her for copyright infringement. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it could happen. That's the whole thing. It could happen. I mean, that's why I love bringing you on, man, because you're putting. I mean, I like putting stuff out there, like thinking about it and then putting it out there, just to kind of. Hey, look. We're probably both wrong, right? But the fun thing is kind of talking about it, things like that. So
that would be funny for Pepper Potts to get canceled because she came after a young black girl just for making it.
Hashtag canceled. Yeah. And if you all don't know, there's going to be an Ironheart series as well. It's been announced. It's not in production yet. I think they're writing it. So, let me ask you this, and I don't even know if you're aware of this. What do you think of the backlash to Black Panther about it being a quote-unquote attack on Black male masculinity?
Now, I heard E-Man talking about this, and he got me thinking about some things I didn't even think about, like the whole idea of we saw in the first Black Panther movie, a son losing his father. So now we got that situation where but by then he was a grown man. He was like, you lost your dad, but he was already a grown man. So people are talking about, well, what if T'Challa and what's her name? The girl that he loves, Nakia. If they had a child, then it's the same as that situation. Like if there's a T'Challa Jr., then T'Challa dies. It's the same damn. You got another son, a black man, a black child without a father, kind of. I understand that it was a difficult situation that Marvel was in. Whatever they chose to do, there was going to be backlash on it. But going back to what we talked about earlier with Iron Man, with Terrence Howard, there's a precedent. I mean, I know Terrence Howard didn't die, but when they had that contract disagreement, where they were quick to recast in a heartbeat. So recasting, whether they're black, white, don't matter. Like Marvel has done it onto all characters, a lot of characters, no matter who they were. So I just didn't understand. We were gonna feel sad about his passing no matter what. When we saw it, whether they recast or not, when we see Wakanda Forever, we're gonna feel that Chadwick's eyes hold
Oh
in our
yeah,
hearts no matter
no doubt,
what.
no doubt, no
But
doubt.
I still feel like T'Challa's story deserved to continue. That's just what that's just how I feel.
Oh no, I kind of moved on that. I understood why they wouldn't want to recast it, and the way they explained it is there'll be another Black Panther, but it just won't be T'Challa. And I'm like, okay, I understood that, but we are getting robbed of the run that you talked about, the comic book run of Storm and T'Challa's
Yeah,
romance. So,
exactly. I mean,
yeah, we're
even
getting robbed
taking
of it.
the Black Panther mantle out of it, T'Challa him as a character himself, his story is great. I mean, if Robert Downey Jr. died, they would have recast Iron Man. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, they would have.
yeah,
It doesn't seem fair that all these other major characters who had if whether it was Chris Hemsworth, if it was Chris Evans, if the same thing would have happened to any of these other people, I'm pretty sure they would have recast it because these stories are so important. But the second it happens to the brother, I don't know. They're like, you know what? That's it. Stop it.
yeah.
It just didn't seem fair to me. I don't understand
Uh,
why.
well, I mean, I understood the Terrence Howard thing because that was a contract thing,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they didn't recast Black. They didn't recast Black Widow. They replaced her with another Black Widow. She's still a Black Widow. It is her sister. They replaced Hawkeye with Kate Bishop. It's just like a passing of the mantle. We're going to see the Riri Williams be the next quote unquote Iron Man, so to
Yeah.
speak, because she's going to build a similar suit made of vibranium this time. So, and again, because
Headed to that Young Avengers type of theory. You know what?
yeah, I
And you
wanted to
know what?
ask you about that too.
And
Yeah,
that's probably why most likely it is Shuri, because it
yeah,
probably just sped up their Young Avengers kind of, because like I said, there's replacements. There's She-Hulk.
yeah,
There's Ironheart.
yeah. The part
There's
about
precedent
She-Hulk,
for
yeah,
these.
yeah,
There's precedent for these new Avengers that are probably coming in, and that was probably where it was going to head. Maybe after
yeah.
3 T'Challa movies, maybe it would have natural. I honestly feel like T'Challa was probably going to be the leader of the. If Chadwick was still alive, I think he might have been one of the leaders or the leader of the
Yeah,
Avengers
the Young Avengers.
until he passed the torch to Shuri or something
Yeah,
like that. But maybe what we're getting now is whatever that future story that we were gonna get when he passed the torch. We're just getting it a lot faster. That's fine. I just feel with when the stars aligned and they finally got Fox and now Storm
yeah,
can be.
yeah,
We're getting right. We're never gonna get that story now.
yeah,
That's just what I'm just upset about
yeah.
until they reboot it.
Yeah, well, I do think they will. I think there will be. I mean, there's a right way to go about it. If you're going to file a complaint, just simply say, yeah, we get why you want to honor Chadwick like this. But to me, when his brother and his family came out and said no, Chadwick would have
Would have
wanted
wanted, yeah.
the part to go on. I think they were too far into this movie to move the needle, so to speak. I think the next Black Panther movie, you will get a T'Challa recast. That's just my opinion.
You mean like Black Panther 3?
Black Panther, yeah, Black Panther 3.
I am right there with you. I
Or
feel like maybe by the third one,
yeah.
if they don't, then yeah, then they're never.
Or do you think they can do a soft? You think they can do kind of a soft introduction like they did with Chadwick with Civil War? They give him a soft, and he was in Civil War for what, like 8.5 minutes or something, like, give or take. Was it 8 minutes or 7.5 minutes? You think they could recast and then do a soft reintroduction of the character that way? I personally, now this is just my opinion, I would do that, but I'm not Kevin Feige. I'm not in that office. So, but if it were me, I would say, okay, we're going to recast the part. There'll be a soft introduction and then bring out whoever is playing him. Now, I personally would like that to be, who would you like to see? Let me ask you. You're the guest. Who would you like? Would you like to see a soft reintroduction, and who would you like to see playing the part if it was recast?
I honestly feel like Avengers, not the Kang one, the Secret Wars,
Yeah.
will be the one where if they want it, because I feel like that's the movie where they're gonna close out this multiverse saga, they're gonna go crazy, but even more crazy than we saw with Multiverse of Madness. I feel like there's gonna be universes that are gonna collapse, and maybe they're gonna pluck an Iron Man from another universe that doesn't need their Iron Man, and we're gonna get Robert Downey Jr. back, Chris Evans, and all these people. I think a lot of people are gonna they're gonna test it out. Even if it's a T'Challa that just happens to look different because he's being played obviously by a different actor, I think it might happen in Secret Wars. I think they'll pluck a T'Challa from a different universe and just do it that way. If fans react to that actor, or if it gets the feedback that they would hope for, then I think that whoever that person is, might become the new T'Challa. That person might become the next T'Challa. But I honestly felt like what they should have done was retcon history, and because my mother, she feels that what's his name, Killmonger, who Michael B. Jordan.
I know a lot. That
narratively, it doesn't make sense because of all the crimes he committed. The character committed. You can't just forgive, even if he was alive. If he's alive, you can't forgive everything that he did. He killed a lot of Wakandans to do what he was going to do. So the Terra Malaje, I don't know, I said that wrong. They won't forgive him. They won't follow him. So, but if I felt like if they would have had Michael B. Jordan play T'Challa, and they just kind of, it would have looked like it would have been people would have considered it an insult to Chadwick. But if they would have retconned, instead of them being just cousins, but they could have done the whole these cousins were almost like identical, they looked alike. Have Michael B. Jordan just play T'Challa and then just kind of retcon and say they looked alike. Like these cousins were very similar in their looks, or just never talk about it. I don't know. I just feel like that was a way to have people have their cake and eat it too. You get Michael B. Jordan in, and you get T'Challa to continue, because I think people would not have. If when they recast T'Challa, there's gonna be an uproar, just like with Heath Ledger became the Joker. But Michael B. Jordan, I think there would have been less of an uproar because people like Michael B. Jordan. I feel like Michael B. Jordan was their best option in my opinion. But it probably wouldn't. Maybe not. I don't know.
I go with two guys. I'm tied. It won't. One is Omar Hardwick, the guy that played Ghost. I think he would be a good Black Panther.
I thought that too, but
I know somebody told me he was too light skinned in it.
I'm like you gonna really don't tell me this dude from Africa?
And of course my favorite pick is John David Washington. He's the same height as Chadwick. He can fill out that outfit like Chadwick. And that's just my opinion. His father,
that to me was the most logical. I even did a video about that too. I
remember that. Yeah, I remember.
Was the most logical choice.
Yeah.
Because I know they were friends. I feel like didn't people say that he was too short or something like that? Like,
well, they're both 5'9". But Chadwick is 5'9".
He was like 2 inches shorter than Chadwick. Like, what are you talking about? You don't? You think people are gonna notice 2 inches on? Look, if my fiance ain't worried about those 2 inches, then people ain't gonna worry about it.
I understand that, but no, to me, his father, Denzel Proctor, Chadwick. To me, it would have been a perfect. As bad as it is, it would have been like you said, the most logical choice. It still may happen.
He was the most logical.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah,
I still hope that they recast. I what E-Man said it. He said something that it's now starting to haunt me, because it was like we already mourned this man's death 2 years ago. Now it feels like they're monetizing the 2 years later. I mean, obviously we can't escape the fact that we're all gonna be thinking about Chadwick no matter what.
There's no way not to. Yeah.
But when when they went out of their way to put it on the trailer and stuff like that, it's now it's like you're purposely rehashing. And I just knocked Chadwick down. That's my bad, brother.
Oh no.
It's like you're rehashing now you're trying to profitize or monetize. The way he put it, I was like, oh damn, dude, I didn't even think about it like that. But if the character, if they're going to that route that T'Challa is dead, then there's no way around it. I mean, because Chadwick played T'Challa, and if they're gonna, you gotta show Chadwick's image to show that T'Challa is being taken away or the character is going. So there's no way around it. So it's a difficult situation for Disney, but I trust Feige. I trust Ryan Coogler. I know that he's going to do an amazing job, dude. I don't even know if this was something you were going to talk about later, but dude, I even heard there's word going around that that what's her name, the mother,
Angela Bassett,
that might get in the suit.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen. I can say that
because she fought in what if? I mean, it would obviously be a stunt double and be CG.
Yeah. It's just there's no precedent for her to do it. I mean,
didn't her character fight in the war? And what if?
I mean, I think she may have fought because she's part of the tribe, but the tribe she came out of, it may have fought, but Angela, but no. I mean, there's no precedent. Shuri, I think they could get away with because they could at least say comic book accuracy. Just like when they were showing the people being blue, it's like, well, they do look like the characters from the Na'vi. But they're not. It's still comic book accurate. They're blue. The Atlantis in the comic book are blue. So it's to me, as long as they need something to fall back on. They could always say, we're pulling this directly out of the Black Panther run. Granted, it's different people doing the run and doing the writing, but to me, as long as they have a precedent, I think they're okay. The question here says somebody saying that possibly 2 Black Panthers. Yeah, I personally think you'll see Shuri.
I think it's going to be Shuri in the beginning, and then maybe it'll be Nakia dude, there's people thinking that maybe Okoye might become the Black Panther.
I guess it's possible, but well, I mean, it is.
She's a fighter. She can fight.
It's just, if they make a synthetic herb and they say, well, anybody who takes the herb gains this power, versus because in the comics, it's bloodline.
Yeah,
it's a bloodline, and what cracks me up about all these people mad about saying it's an attack on Black male masculinity. The Panther god, the god that they pray to, the goddess Bass, she's Black. They show her in Thor: Love and Thunder. Yeah, so that's Bass. That's her. It's just when that's the shape she took on Earth. To be and M'Baku, they pray to the gorilla. So it is what it is. So
well, let me ask you this on. Not leaning too much on the comic book, but if we just stick with what we've already gotten in the MCU, Shuri had no interest in fighting. She wanted to be in the lab. That's the only thing that I'm against it being a Shuri, because if she dedicated her life to just being the smartest person in the MCU, I mean, her brother trained to be a leader, warrior in a fight. She did not. You can't even in 5 years of training, you ain't gonna come. I don't feel like you're gonna be onto the level of where Killmonger, T'Challa, M'Baku are at. I mean, because I'm sorry, if to me, I feel like the second they say Shuri will now become the new Black Panther, I feel like M'Baku should be like, I challenge.
Well, yeah. I think what will happen is, this is my opinion, is she will become Black Panther, but she will also get wounded. I think. And I'm probably reading too much into it. When Angela Bassett's character said, "My whole family's gone," she didn't say my husband and son are gone.
She said my whole family's
gone. So
I'm wondering the same thing. So you think Shuri might get wounded or killed?
I think she gets wounded or put into a coma, like you brought up the fact that Namor wounded T'Challa and put him in a coma. Yeah. And I think that at that point,
wouldn't that be repeating the same steps from Black Panther 1? The same thing happened to T'Challa.
Well, no, because T'Challa actually fought and showed a moment of to me, a weakness. This fight's to the death. You know, this guy's trying to kill you. And I see what you're saying, but
like he got thrown off the cliff. They presumed he was dead. Like I feel like if they do the same thing with Shuri, like if she gets wounded, like you said, she might get wounded.
I think she gets wounded in the vein of in the vein that somebody else has to step in and finish the fight. I personally think that's M'Baku. Now I do think I do think the in cut scene. This is just me theory crafting. I think they'll have two. I think they'll have a mid cut scene and an in cut scene. I think the in cut scene will be another Marvel movie, whether it be She-Hulk, something. You know, She-Hulk already be on. I forgot about that. She will be part of the Young Avengers. I think the next one will be one of the War Dogs coming back to challenge. To be Black Panther, but it'll be a War Dog coming back to Wakanda. So whether they want to say he got a distress message because things going on with Killmonger, he stayed hidden, didn't know what was going on. I do think they show somebody coming in. You remember how the Dora Milaje went in the first Black Panther and they tell us, show us you're one of us or something like that. And I think you'll get a scene similar. It is just me theory crafting. And then the person will pull their lip down. It'll have the monogram, and then it'll be whoever the next Black Panther is going to be. So we'll have to wait and see who that is, you know. But that's just my theory on it. Again, that's just my theory.
What about Michael B. Jordan character? What do you think? Alive or dead? Or do you think they'll pluck another version of him out of the multiverse eventually?
I think what I had heard was that when Shuri goes to the ancestral plane as Black Panther, she will see as a John Kanai's character that plays T'Chaka, and Killmonger will be there. That's
since he was technically a king.
He was technically king for whatever 2 hours. You know, he is Wakandan descent. Yeah, I think they said he was only king for 2 hours and he was gone. You know, but yeah, there's not. That's what I heard. We'll have to wait and see. Again, it's just early theory crafting. Like you said, it's a tease trailer. We didn't even get I told people the big trailer is the one after it comes. You see it, and it says tickets on sale now.
Yeah,
or tickets on sale Friday.
That's the trailer.
That's your big trailer, because you saw Endgame. We saw the Endgame trailer about 1,000 times, right? When did Tony Stark and Steve Rogers shake hands? They never did. It was deceptive marketing. When Stark says, "You trust me," and Steve, "So you know I do," that was never in the movie.
Yeah, they never got close.
It never happened.
They never got close to that.
Yeah, you go to Infinity War. When did they show the Avengers running through the jungle? Remember that end trailer?
Hulk when they edited Hulk in there. That's deceptive
never
marketing.
happened. Never happened. I mean, deceptive marketing. I think that's what we saw with this tease trailer, because that first Avengers trailer. When they were running through the jungle, tease trailer. It was a tease trailer, you know. So it is what it is. So I tell people I would hold off saying that people are getting attacked. It's just if I understand somebody saying, well, they're almost monetizing his death. To me, the trailer showed everybody that was on the Comic-Con stage. You know, even the girl that was there, the Atlantean that was there with the guy playing Namor. And then he was there. So of course it's going to show all of them. So I mean, it's just.
I'm looking at this name right now. Was it a Tanakh Hirata?
Yeah, Tanakh Hirata. Yeah. So again, I got no beef with seeing a vertical slice. I mean, if I work with you and I direct you and you come on the stage, of course I'm going to show your early work in it. So because like Herrera, the guy that's playing Namor was like, he really couldn't tell nobody. That was one of the funny stories. Like, well, I didn't tell anybody. And I called my mom and she didn't answer, you know? So, so yeah, it's, I think there's a whole lot that can go on here. I do agree that theater, that opening night theater, what do you want to call it, it's going to be mourning. I mean, just to be honest, I have no doubt in my mind that people are going to be tearing up. I'll probably be one of them. Because Chadwick, I've always said he didn't play anything major, but everything he played he was real regal about the way he worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought he was a perfect.
I think the quote was that he strived to every character he played, he wanted to bring that character to life. He didn't want you to see Chadwick. He wanted you to see the character he played.
Yeah.
In every movie that he was ever in, not just T'Challa, with everything, with 45 and whatnot. He which is why his family also said that he would have preferred them to recast because he wants to keep T'Challa alive. He strived to bring T'Challa to life, not to die when he died. Like it's what do they say that
I agree.
The characters the more important than the actor. The actor is not more important than the character. And I just agree with that. I just feel like we put our own emotions into it, and then the companies are probably just afraid that all of that is going to be weaponized against them. They're afraid to upset the audience when they really should be more focused on just finishing their story, their vision that they set out. Because stick to the plan, stay on the course. The fans will be mad no matter what, but I think if they got a great story in the end of it, they would have been okay with it. But, and I think that's what T'Challa. I mean, not T'Challa. See, I'm Chadwick. I think that's what Chadwick would have wanted. But
I think if we go about it the right way, not yelling and screaming, but getting behind the family, as far as the family saying, yeah, look, it's okay. We understand it's going to, and I still think they will do it. I think they want to honor his memory the way Ryan and Kevin want to do it. Okay, fine. That I still think we're going to get another Black Panther. I hope it's a T'Challa, but if it's not, if it's just going to be a Black Panther, that's fine. There's no, I mean, at least with T'Challa, there's precedent. But
I feel like by the Secret Wars, I feel like we're gonna get a T'Challa before this saga ends. Even if it's just one scene, even if it's Shuri just getting to fight along with or seeing a version of her brother before it's all over, just one more time. Maybe a portal will open and she'll see another universe, T'Challa and Storm are living happily in another universe or something. We get a tearjerker moment, and then it's just it's something. I feel like I feel like by then we might maybe. Or maybe in What If season 2 or something like that.
Because somebody said to me, well, Reed Richards and his wife, they're considered the first couple, but T'Challa and Storm would have challenged that as the first couple of Marvel, blah blah blah. So I'm like, all right, fair enough. I mean, look, I've moved on the whole him being recast. So when his brother actually went to Feige and Coogler and met with them and said, look, our family believes he would want the character to live on, I think they're going to do it, but I just think that they were too deep in production to do it. Remember, they were having all that issue with COVID and Letitia Wright going crazy.
They probably had already made their decision by then, and you're probably right. Then after the meeting, I'm with you. I feel like they're gonna. That decision is probably it sounded permanent, but Kevin Feige, I think that decision that Kevin Feige said that they made. I think it's just gonna depend on, especially after the movie comes out. I feel like they're like let's just let this movie come out. Let's let a little bit more time go by, and I think by the time after they could be playing us like a fiddle and know exactly. Kevin Feige just might be reading the tea leaves and going like, right now it's too hot to recast them now because people are still too loyal to Chadwick. But if we give them a movie without T'Challa, then I think. Then it'll the scales will tip the other way, and it's going to be like we've mourned Chadwick enough. We want T'Challa back, and I think then they're going to go. Now it's time. I think that's what's going to have to happen. We got to get a Black Panther movie without T'Challa for that scale. Maybe it's still that 51-49.
I agree.
But then after the movie, then it's going to go the other way. It's going now we're ready to recast. Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, I think we'll be at over 70%. Not on a negative tip. I just think people will say yes, we understand, but
it's time.
but yeah, I think it's time. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. So hopefully they break precedent. I'm not going to turn it into a pissing match as far as they need to do it or else, and it's blah 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 this. So I respect his family enough. Okay, if his family wants it done, then for the sake of his own family, who know him better than anybody, go ahead and recast the part. There are plenty of people that. I understand you can't be him, but can you do some of the method? Because he did method acting, so yeah. But
I want all the blessings go towards Wakanda Forever. I want this movie to be successful. And another thing, I would tell my audience this too: that if the movie makes billions of dollars more than the first one, great. Yeah. But if it makes $1 less.
Facts.
Do not go. See, it failed. It's because you know the freaks and the framers are gonna do that. They're gonna do it.
You're right.
If it makes $1 less than the first one, they're gonna. Oh yes, we knew it. This is the wokeness.
Great point.
It doesn't depend on that. A sequel. I want the sequel. I want the franchises to always continue to grow. But just because an original made more or was done better than a sequel does not mean the sequel is a failure. And and just based on the little tidbits that I saw in this teaser, I'm like, no, this movie is going to be hot. This is going to be a good movie.
Yeah.
But will it be better than the original one? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that this movie's a failure because it's not better than the first one. But
obviously there's going to be a missing presence, so it won't. It just won't be as good. But it can still, the writing can still be there. But no, I mean, I think I agree. You had people saying that Thor, this new one that came out, was failing, and I'm thinking this movie made in 3.5 weeks what Ragnarok took 13 weeks to make. So you can say the movie wasn't, you didn't like it, but
it wasn't your cup of tea, but it wasn't a failure.
Not a failure. It's going to make $1 billion. It's like the second Doctor Strange movie made 2.5 times more than the first Doctor Strange.
Exactly. You may have liked the first one more, but you can't say the second one was a failure.
You can say it was trash. You can say I didn't like it.
I had an observation about Thor: Love and Thunder recently about it. I was recently told, because spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it, but if you look at the part of the movie where there's part of the movie is being told by Korg to the children, as a story. If you look at if you're the type of person that goes, the silliness, seriousness of it scale was way off. It was way more silly than I liked it. Versus the seriousness of it. But if you think about it on the fact that it was probably being told by Korg, who is a very silly guy, can be a silly guy, to children. Now the silliness might make more sense. Why it was so. I was like, you know what? And when I heard that, I'm like, if I think about it like that, then that movie was brilliant because that's exactly how I would tell the story to my kids too.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point.
That's a way to look at it if it wasn't your cup of tea. That's something.
That's a very good point. Yeah. Well, bro, I kept you here long enough. I'm gonna hit the pillow. maybe turn on some Drew Hill. I'm surprised. I was ready to give it all to you, man. I was like, he charmed me the last time, but this time no music, no nothing. Oh, I see how it is, bro. I see. No, but I enjoyed. I appreciate you having me on here, man. Man, anytime.
I always like linking up with you, man. We got to do this more often, man.
Absolutely.
Anytime. I appreciate you, man.
Well, man, go ahead and plug your channel before you get on up out of here, my friend.
You can always follow me at I'm Chris at T3 Media Studios out here. I do like I said, I do a weekly entertainment news and movie reviews every week on this channel. Live stream with my team, with my friends. You can catch me, Amy, and Sarah and my wife Joy. We will definitely give you the news. That made me sound like a pimp. It's just me and these four other ladies. I'm sorry. There are guys here. We got Daniel. We got Giovanni out here too. And
I know.
It's not just me. But yeah, we're out here talking about movies, and we give our reactions and reviews every week, and we're moving to make it a more of a daily show. But yeah, if you follow us at T3 Medias on YouTube, social, and all the social medias, it's T the number 3 and MEDIAS online. So I appreciate you having me, man. Anytime, and I enjoy your time on your channel. I appreciate you. And you guys, if y'all ain't following Craig, y'all, what the hell? Y'all get y'all butts up and hit that like and subscribe button for this channel right here. Craig the Tech Guy. He ain't playing with you. Hit that like button now.
Yeah, go ahead and slap it. Slap it hard. Yeah, slap that like button and share. So, brother, I appreciate you coming on, man. And man, many blessings to you. And we're definitely gonna have to touch base because we got a whole lot. There's a lot of stuff coming out. And I'll definitely be following you all's podcasting and leaving a like and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you all take it easy. Keep up the good work, Chris, man. And God bless you and your family. I appreciate you being here, brother.
Appreciate you, man. God bless you too, man. I appreciate it. All right, guys. I'm out of here.
All right.
All right. Later.
All righty, guys. Well, shout out to Chris with T3. Brother's just doing his thing. And I love it. Love having him on. And definitely I think about some things differently. So you all go and man, you all have a good evening. It's 11 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going in for a few hours tomorrow because duty calls, right? So I will talk to you guys later. Peace.